so we can have some more food. And thank you so much to Zena and everyone that's bought the food for tonight. So I just quickly want to echo what Chris has said. I know that with so many excellent people put their name forward. I think we kept saying that the few that did know or didn't, that we really wanted, we just hoped that we'd have someone local or someone that had been working in the CLP to campaign on some of the issues that we know the town and the constituency faces. So I'm really, honestly, it's a huge honour and a privilege to be the candidate in a town that I grew up in, a town I went to school in. I'll briefly say what I would have said if we'd had hustings. I would say the reason I joined the Labour Party, the reason I think the Labour Party is important, about less than half a mile from here is where my grandma, my mum and my auntie and uncle grew up on Baggaley Road. And unfortunately, when my mum was about 8 years old, my grandfather died quite suddenly. My grandma came over after the war from Ireland, and in that moment, when they lost my grandfather, they were faced with, well, she in particular was faced with a challenge I can't quite imagine. You know, losing your husband, having 3 kids, you know, the youngest 6, the eldest 10. But in that moment, not just the community that was there, but the state was there with the house that she was in. The NHS was there when a year later she nearly passed away herself from a brain hemorrhage. She went on to live till 94. And all the things that we built as a country were there. And now, I think, if that was a young woman now on Hornville Estate, or anywhere in Newark, would she be in the same position? Would she have been able to bring up those 3 kids and go on to have grandkids? You know, one of them went on to be a nurse, one of them went on to be a teacher, you know. Brought up in that system, you know, would they be able to do that? And that's what we're fighting for in this election. Because women, men and women across the country are in situations where they are literally having to choose between putting food on their plate, getting transport to a job, sending their kids to school. These are the kinds of choices that we're making people make. So, you know, that's why I put my name for it. It's why I think it's a really important campaign. When we go across the constituency, we hear the same thing, whether it's here in Hortonville or in Southall or, you know, young families on the estate in Beacon. Every month it's getting more difficult. You know, there's less at the end of the month. Whether they're in work or out of work, it's more and more difficult. And we've got to give them hope. And that's what I think we can do as a party here in Newark. What we're doing across the East Midlands, it's what we're doing across the country. Hope. You know, we're going to fight a really positive campaign. You know, all right, they're going to throw everything at it. They're going to say, you know, they're going to throw all that negative stuff about Brexit. They're going to say, let's get it done. Well, we have the answers to the really big problems. We're not going to blame it on some other group or some other community. We're going to say, this is the fault of a small group of people who, for the last 30 years, have squeezed the living standards of working men and women across this country. They've taken that wealth that families across this community and across the country built up after the war, after a war that they fought in, and that they built the peace. And over 30 years, they've had that legacy squeezed and squeezed, while increasingly a small group of people have benefited. And what we're saying in this campaign is that's going to end. We're going to make real change. You know, we've got hope that we can change this country, hope that we can change this town. And so, what I say to you is, you know, we got 35 days, and I know it's cold, and I know it's not how you wanted to spend your December. It's not how I thought I'd be spending my December, my early December. But, you know, think about when we wake up on the 14th of December, because, you know, you say every election is going to be a big election, but this election, you know, is a big election. And do you want to look back on that 14th and say we gave absolutely everything we could give? You know, we spoke to everyone and told them how important this election was. We told them what the choice was. You know, so I just ask you, you know, if you can give any time here in the constituency, and we're going to be helping out in the constituencies next to us, hopefully, on certain days. If you can give any time, and whatever you can give is going to be much, you know, really appreciated, because, you know, We want to wake up on the 40th of December, 13th of December, sorry. Or wake up on the 14th and the 15th and the 16th. So we'll have socialism the next day.
I don't want to vote on the 13th.
Yeah, well, so waking up after being knackered, we'll have slept for 2 days. But why, look, it's going to be, we're going to have lots of fun. There's a brilliant team. One of the big changes in Newark has been just the size of the team, people coming out, young and old. It's been really heartening. We've got real issues that we want to fight for against, frankly, a candidate that, we've got the lowest level of social mobility in the country. He hasn't raised it once in the last 2 years. He spent more time finding his way up the ministerial ladder. Well, we want a candidate and we want a local party that are going to be working week in, week out for this community. That's what we're fighting for. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. And like I say, just get in touch with anything that you can do, whether it's stuffing envelopes or knocking on doors or even just pushing letters through doors. It's all going to be really helpful because we need to fight for that hopeful future that I know we can all build. So thank you so much. It's a real honour. Thank you.